Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the town board meeting October 21st to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's meeting. Can I get a motion to open this evening's meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Bingham to second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scarecrow, aye.
Cardone, aye.
All aye.
Richardson, aye.
So moved. Okay, first item on the agenda is recognition of Ruben Estrada. Ruben has been a stalwart in the Latin community, and we'd like to acknowledge him this evening. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Dory Dool.
Yes, yes. So for 10 years, Ruben Estrada has been working tirelessly to make sure that the most important parts of Hispanic and Latino culture are celebrated. And he's done this wonderfully at Museum Village. So his efforts have been twofold. His efforts have celebrated a community that has worked very hard for a very long time, celebrating everything that is American, and has also supported a very important place in this part of Orange County, and that's Museum Village. Without Ruben's efforts, I don't think our community would be what it is today. All of us coming together and working together and celebrating what makes us different and what makes us the same. So, it is my distinct pleasure, yes, to bring Ruben Estrada up.
Okay. I'll go with the guidance.
Ruben, come on up. It is my distinct pleasure and honor
Dory.
to present to you this recognition. It states, with grateful appreciation to Ruben Estrada for his 10 years of dedicated service to celebrating and promoting Latino culture through Fiesta Latina at Museum Village, and his commitment to strengthening the values of family, faith, and freedom while supporting the history of Orange County. It's a pleasure for me to stand next to you as a colleague and as a friend. Thank you all.
Dory, can you?
Can I give a recognition to Abby as well? It's been a committee, it's been an effort.
Check.
It takes more than just me. Yeah, it's not at all. But I do say that my friend Trudy, and we have the judge from the village of Monroe. I'm going to lose her now, by the way, because some other things are happening in her life, and she's my assistant officially.
Okay.
And Paul. So it's a team effort. Yeah, I started, and everybody came together. But I want to say is also is always, and more importantly, is God. We got to keep God wherever we are, because it's not working very well if you don't. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you.
Ruben, can you, over here, can you just hold it up so I can? Excuse me, Dory.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Good job. Yep, thank you.
That's okay.
Okay, item 3.2, I'd like to table to next meeting. Jim DeSalvo wanted to be here, and Pat couldn't be here, so he asked if we could table it. 3.3 is a recap of the Town of Monroe Food Truck Festival. Sal?
Perfect weather day. Another great day. Empanada Master, as always, is in the house. Thank you, Ruben, for bringing us those wonderful empanadas. First, it's always about Jim Schmutz and Anne Morris. They do a great job for us with this event. Weather was perfect. Attendance was a little light, but I think for the most part, most of the trucks had a wonderful time. We did raise
1561
for the Rotary. So another great day. We'll be back in June. We'll tweak it and keep making it better and better. But thank you everyone for your support.
Thank you. Okay.
Bands were incredible, and so was Cousin's Maine Lobster. It was gorgeous weather. A lot of tribute bands, a lot of people had fun, including myself.
Okay, item 3.4 is the Monroe Free Library Focus Group. They need participants. You could go on their website and sign up. And their website.
They've actually been sending out.
Their website is, you can register to sign up at https://tinurl.com/MFL and then focus and group with a capital F and a capital G. So
tinyurl.com/NFL focus group.
Did I finish talking?
I think you did.
So there are multiple times that are available in multiple days. So feel free to sign up and become part of the focus group.
The library is just looking for input as to what the residents are looking for. Maybe something, you haven't been in the library for a while, come on down and see what they're offering. And then you can join a focus group.
And
Okay,
board members, we did get an invitation, so don't forget to sign up yourselves.
Item 3.5 is early voting. It's going to start this Saturday, October 26th. We'll be here from 9 to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Then on Monday and Tuesday, it will be from 12 noon to 8 p.m. Wednesday and Thursday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
The schedule is
Can
posted
I
on the
please finish?
website as well as the.
Can I please finish?
I'm going to interrupt here a second, okay? When they're speaking over someone who's speaking, that affects the uploading of the video, number one. Number two, it makes it so that AI cannot pick up what is being heard. So it delays the video. There's 3 platforms for the video. There's YouTube, the website, and Channel 22.
Is this part of the community announcements? Because
It's not
this
part
could
of
be
the
a private
community announcement,
conversation.
okay, but it
And
affects
you
my
can just acknowledge the
job.
fact that it's difficult to hear when someone's stopping versus pausing, and there's 5 of us.
Okay, well,
And when
the supervisor
each of us
has
get
the
a
floor, so
chance
supervisor, please
to
continue.
actually
Okay,
read off
so
the-
the locations that exist are City of Middletown, City of Newburgh, City of Port Jervis, Town of Goshen, Town of Montgomery, Town of Monroe, Town of New Windsor, and the Town of Warwick. And if need be, it is found on our website and the Orange County Board of Elections website. Item 3.6 is trunk or treat. Madam Clerk?
Yes, so we passed a resolution last meeting for trunk or treat. That will be taking place this Saturday at O&R Park from 6 to 8 p.m. It is a registration event, so we have actually extended registration through this Wednesday. We've had last minute people that wanted to sign up, so we did extend that through Wednesday. You sign up through our website. The event is rain or shine. Setup will begin at 4 p.m. The weather's going to be beautiful, so come out and join us.
Okay, next up, item 3.7 is the Smith Clove Park Fall Festival. That's going to be held on November 2nd from 1 to 5. Smith Clove Park is located at 133 Spring Street. And for more information, you can visit Smith's, that's with an S, clovepark.org. It's going to be a day of events, food, and just a lot of fun for the children. Item 3.8 is the American Legion Post 488 Veterans Dinner Dance. That's going to be held on Saturday, November 9th at the American Legion on Lakes Road. You can go on the Legion site, pick up tickets, and I think that's really all I have on that.
Tickets are
Right.
Tickets are $50 per person, and it will include open bar and a buffet dinner with a DJ. There will be 50-50 raffles, and all of this money is going to support the veterans in our area. Post 488 does a wonderful job of giving back to the community, and they do that with all of the fundraisers that they have. So I'm really hoping that we can get a good crew out to support them and show them how much we appreciate all the work that they do.
Okay, thank you. Item 3.9, I'm going to make a motion to approve the use of town hall meeting room by the Monroe Woodbury Community Coalition on Wednesday, November 13th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. for the Teenager Trends Seminar.
All second.
Discussion, are we going to waive the fees for them?
If you'd like, I'll add that into motion.
Thank you.
And we will waive all those fees.
Second,
I will second.
I second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman Wool.
No, I seconded it.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye?
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
All aye.
Richardson, aye.
Item 3.10.
Stop doing that. There are 5 of
is
us.
the Town of Monroe Electronic Recycling Shredding Tire Recycling Event. Madam Clerk, you want to discuss that?
Sure. So that is taking place on Saturday, November 2nd at the Town of Monroe Highway Garage, 87 Mine Road. From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. There will be paper shredding, tire recycling, and electronic recycling. Appliances are not accepted. 4 boxes per resident. Items accepted, cell phones, computers, DVDs, VCRs, modems, typewriters, batteries, CPUs, laptops. All hard drives will be destroyed. Again, that is at the 87 Mine Road Highway Garage from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on November 2nd.
Okay, thank you. Item 3.11 is the Monroe Gives Annual Holiday Gift Event. You can nominate a family who's a local family in need today, and you can help bring joy to their season and lighten their burden this holiday season. To complete the form to submit a nomination, and that's nominations are on Tiny Earl, which is tinyurl.com, and nominations have to be received by Monday, November 4th. Okay, into the public hearing portion of the meeting. Item 4.1 is I'll make a motion to open the continuation of a public hearing in relation to the increase in improvements of facility to Water District number 14.
Bingham will second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye?
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
All aye.
Richardson, aye.
Anyone sign up?
No public comment.
Councilwoman Bingham?
I think we're going to have to reach out to the engineer again, since it's been probably 2 years since he proposed what improvement were needed there. I'm sure costs have risen, just like everything else. Every time you go to the grocery, you find everything's more expensive than it was. I still think we should keep the public hearing open, but I'll reach out to McGooey Hauser at Sullivan and ask them for an update.
You want to go to December 2nd?
That would be fine. I'll make a motion that we keep the public hearing open until December 2nd.
At 7 p.m. or maybe thereafter, our second. Call the question.
Bingham, aye?
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
All aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay, so moved. I'm going to make a motion to open the continuation of the public hearing for the proposed Arrow Park Water District.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye?
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
All aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay,
No public
I've
comment.
had, no, I'm sorry, no public comment? Count, Madam Clerk? No. Okay. So I've had discussions with Brian Nugent on this, and it's gotten to the point where we're going to close this public hearing, and if it comes up again in the future, we will reopen it, rather than just guesstimating every 3 or 4 months or something.
Right, because it's not officially a town district.
Yeah, well, it's not owned by the town.
It's not owned, yes.
What do you mean by come up again?
If
Also,
the
could
residents-
you should probably make the motion so we can second for discussion.
So if the residents come back and say, you know, we're looking for the town to become a water district, then we take their petition and start over again from the beginning. Mr. Nugent, have anything to add?
I would just agree with the recommendation because also the numbers that would have been initially proposed have probably changed in the time that's passed since this started. So you probably need to do updated notice anyway with the per resident numbers.
So we were waiting on water testing?
Waiting on
What were we waiting on for this to be able to complete?
We had to take over ownership.
And we just are not ready to make that decision, or what?
No, they're not.
They're not, okay.
Residents were. Okay, I make a motion to close the public hearing for the proposed Darrell Park Water District.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Ingram, aye?
Stanker, aye.
Cardone, aye.
All aye.
Richards, aye.
Okay, item 4.5 is a motion to open the continuation of public hearing regarding the 2025 town budget and benefit assessment roll.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Ingram, aye?
Stanker, aye.
Cardone, aye.
All aye.
It's aye.
So moved.
No public comment.
Public comment. We all should have received copies as of today. Currently, we're at $397,884 over the tax cap. We have whittled it down to a 14.56% increase in village home and a 13.26% increase in town home. There's a little more whittling to do, and I've been working with Helen, Roberta, and the departments. I have a scheduled meeting with the ambulance on Wednesday. Anybody have any questions?
Yes, one of the residents had asked about the Tomm plan, and I know I had emailed, and we were waiting for Max to give us an idea how much that would cost.
Yeah, so Max did not get back to us, but what you have to remember is that 11,000 that's in there, the comp plan is gonna take more than 12 months, so it's gonna be filtered over multiple years. I think what we did last time, April, May, July, August, September, October, November, so it took us 19 months to do the last comp plan. So if you'd like, I'll obviously follow up with Max and see what he says, but the entire comp plan is not going to be put into this budget.
No, but I think their concern was that we're not gonna have enough money to do the comp plan, and that if more should be put in this year to help make the comp plan possible sooner rather than later, I think that's what the residents' concern was.
Yeah,
If we know exactly how much the comp plan is gonna cost, and, you know, we can allocate appropriately based on that cost.
I think that the promise online listed was every 5 years. We're overdue by quite a lot at this point, and like I mentioned last time, the demographics have severely shifted.
We're over.
And you're talking over me now, so I think that the quotes we received from Bonnie and Max just for some studies, that was including their work being volunteer. If Bonnie's willing to volunteer, we don't know because we haven't gotten that statement from her. The costs were astronomical, and I think the research I've done from the New York State Planning Federation says that even small villages basically require $20,000 or more for a basic comp plan at this point. And if we were looking to pursue a comp plan as well as a community preservation plan, those two things are going to be very pricey. So I think we should have gotten that quote.
Okay, we're not considerably over, we're less than 2 years over, so. Okay, I'll follow up with Max.
All right, I had numerous things. I was working off the October 7th preliminary budget. And I don't know if you want to go now and do it, or wait till we come out of the public hearing and then hear my comments, because there's quite a few.
Is everybody signed up to speak?
No public comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Started under revenue.
The what?
Revenue, tax collector fees, A001256.
A fund?
A fund, yes, revenue. A001256.
Yep.
Last year, the 2024, as of, September 20th, we had $13,604 and some change. We're only allocating $5,000 this year, so I'm thinking maybe that should be increased.
Okay.
Okay. Bus operations, I see that went up. That's A0001,750. That went up by 8,000. I don't know if that's because of more drivers or the raises that the drivers received, so I'm hoping that could be looked into. That's $8,000.
No, that's revenue, that's not expenses.
Oh, excuse me, that's revenue. Okay, so that's a good thing. So we're planning on having more riders.
Yeah, we've been increasing consistently, and right now, through the, just about the end of September, they were at 26.5, that's it.
Okay, so that's a good thing. Flagship revenue, zero.
Zero.
I thought we were supposed to be getting something.
We discussed this in executive session, and I'd rather discuss it in executive session.
Okay, that's fine, so I'll put down executive.
I think the public should be aware that Flagship is bringing in no money and has never reached their break point, and that it is up to the public, I believe, what actions we take as a town with such an important aspect of Monroe. I know that that is an issue close to many constituents' hearts, and that this was supposed to, bring in revenue for the town. It certainly is something we want to keep as a movie theater because of all of the community value that has, but we are losing, just in tax alone, about $30,000. I might be understating it. And we also pay maintenance. So if anyone, this has obviously been public information for quite some time because on every publicized budget, it says Flagship has made zero revenue.
Okay, recreation user.
Now, let me just follow up with that.
Sorry.
To everyone out there, that was due probably, I want to say almost 100% due to COVID. And the fact that they haven't recovered from COVID. I'm sorry this was brought out this way. This should not have been, because we discussed it in executive session. It was supposed to
Not
be
privileged.
maintained in
No.
executive session
No, it's not.
until we came to a decision
No,
as to how we would bring it to the public.
there's no obligation to keep that privilege at all. This is
Okay.
public.
It is budget time, and this is why it's being brought up. Recreation user fees, A002089. I don't know if we're on target to hit $12,000 because as of September 20th, we only reached $7,311. So I don't know where that revenue is coming from, and I just don't know if we're on target for that. Interest and earnings, A002401. This is as of September 20th again, it was 150,000. We're projecting for 2025, it's going to be 248,000. I really don't know if we're on target to make that wish, as a projection, because for 2024, we projected 205,000. So I'm just asking to verify that those numbers are actual good projections.
There you are.
Okay. Lease payments, A002421. We didn't have anything for 2024, and now we're going up to 72,540. Once again, I'm just asking that it's verified, because as of September, we only had 54,000, so we're still looking for $18,000, and I'm just asking that be verified. Dog licenses, I think there are a lot of dogs out there. Hopefully people are licensing their dogs. They have to come into town hall and get their dog license. So I'm just asking that figure be verified. I did see later on that there's an enumeration that the town clerk had put in for, I think it was $500. I hope there's some kind of notice that we can send out to new residents to say this is possible. But I think I have it later on in my discussions.
I think a little link on the town website would be helpful too, because she did do a lot of work to send out paper notices originally,
Right, if
But that's
there's a way
not
that
funny.
you can email notice,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard if you don't have their emails. Fines and forfeited bail, A0002610. I noticed that's a big decrease. Again, I'm just asking to verify. I am assuming that's mostly from the courts.
Fines and forfeited bail?
Yep,
Yeah, you're the one that came to me and discussed this with me with their budget.
right. I'm just asking that it be verified. If that was what they put in, then I'm fine with it. But the public should know that, fines in the past were never generated at what we had projected as a town board for the budget. So I'm just making the public aware. Insurance recoveries, A0002680. For 24, we adopted 27,000. For 25, we're only projecting 10,000. Again, I don't know where this insurance recovery is coming from, so I want it verified.
It also says that year to date is 1,400, so.
Yeah, it seems very low.
Yeah.
Gifts and donations, please, residents. Make some gifts to the town. We're only projecting 3,000. Last year we projected 6,250. And as far as I know, as of September 20th, we had 0. So maybe that number should not even be 3,000.
Was this a remnant supervisor that, I'm just used to working in scientific research labs, so when we were given, say, a gift or a grant, we would have to keep that number at that level. Is this just like a similar policy? Or like
Whatever you say, Council.
Okay.
So it's like
We paid $18,500 to be the budgetary officer, so anytime you want to start doing your job, why is it listed as $6,250, but the year-to-date is 0?
Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, mortgage tax. I'm assuming we're going to be getting these numbers from either the tax assessor or the county. We had adopted $620,500 in 2024. As of September 20th, again, it was only $274,539.
That's only 2 quarters.
That's what my question was. Is this going to run through the last 2? So that would bring it up to the 550. Okay. I think some of these other items we can do in executive session under personnel, because we still have to come up with the totals for employee salaries. I see some departments are putting in 10%, other are being more realistic with 4%. So I think that would be definitely something we discuss in executive session. Town attorney. Legal contractual prosecutor, A000-4010-4010-02. I think we need to do an RFQ for this. $77,000 is a lot to pay for a prosecutor. I think, like I said, we need to reach out to other firms and see what they can do this for.
And this is the same line that has increased 20,000, correct, each from 2022 to from 2023 to 2024, it increased $20,000. And then again, it's projected to increase another $20,000 in 2025, from 58,000 to 77.
Yeah, so.
Which line are you speaking of?
A000-4010-4010-02, legal contractual prosecutor.
So,
Page 3.
okay, so here's what I'd like you to do, Councilwoman Bingham. If you'd like to go out and go to bid on it, go for it.
Okay.
Do we want to make the motion?
I'll make a motion that we go out to bid for legal contractual prosecutor.
Second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye?
Stanko, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Oh, aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay. This one is very complicated. It does deal with the electric bills and our solar farm. Mr. Rogers touched upon this last town board meeting. This should just be an A fund, as all of these are under shared services. This solar farm for Soul River should not be charged to B accounts. Reason is, water districts, sewer pump station districts, let's say their bill is $100 from O&R for electric costs. When you factor in the percentage allocated for their Soul River portion, they're paying like $250 to $300. So why would you join a club where you know you're gonna get $100 worth of services, but you have to pay $250 a month to be in that club? Also, these residents are being double or and sometimes even triple charged, because if it's an A fund, it's everybody. Now you go to a water district, they're being charged there again. You go now to, if they're also in the Monroe Sewer District, they're paying for their pump station. Now they're being charged a third time. So where is the benefit to the residents? I'm sure the water districts could use an extra $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 and not pay for the Soul River charges. So we had a brief discussion in finance. I totally disagree with how it was originally allocated. I have reached out to Senator Skoufis's office and the Public Service Commission, and I know it's a lengthy process, but this should not at all impact any B fund accounts. It should only be an A fund, and the streetlights would be a prime example, or all of these other properties like the highway garage, the senior center, Dial-A-Ride, they're all town-wide charges. I'm getting a little dry mouth now, so I'm going to stop because this is something that really needs to be addressed.
All right, just to clarify, Councilwoman Vega, we sat in that meeting. You were asked if the accountant agreed that was the way it should be handled, you'd be fine with it. We immediately got on the phone with the accountant. The accountant agreed that's the proper way to allocate it. And here we are again, bringing it up again. I just don't see, you're getting the benefit of a water district. You're paying the electric for that water district. Now you want to charge that to an A fund where somebody who has a well or someone who has a piece of property with no water is now paying for that.
And this is the fault in your logic. An A fund covers everybody. Streetlights are a prime example. Highway garage, Dial-A-Ride, senior center, it's total. The people who are in a B special district, there's only a few districts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 water districts, with the largest one being 179 parcels, and the smallest one being 33 parcels. So now the person who's in that water district is not only being charged in the A fund, they're also being charged in the B fund.
What are they being charged in the A fund for?
Well, as I said, they are participating in the senior center, the highway, the garage, the Dial-A-Ride, and then if you go.
So then why don't we just take all our mood charges and put it into the A fund?
Okay, you want to do that?
No, I don't, but that's basically what you're saying to do. If you have a benefit district, that district is the one responsible for those charges.
Right, but why are they also responsible for the Soul River charges? When that solar farm was designed or proposed, it was supposed to benefit all the residents. You can't have a special district, like a water district or a sewer district, paying for something that is 2.5 times what their actual cost is for electricity.
What you forgot to say is that they're getting complete credit for the actual electric.
As I said, why would you sign up for a club of any kind if you knew you were gonna get $100 worth of services, but it was gonna cost you $250 to join that club?
You're talking to the member that did not want the solar farm, okay? So,
And you have had this information for years. I only knew about this the past couple of months when I sat down with the finance department and looked at the accounts that are town accounts, because O&R does not allow other Village of Harriman or Village of Monroe accounts to be on. It has to be a single town account number on there.
Tax ID has to be the
Tax
exact
ID.
same, yes.
right.
And
So,
yeah, I don't know that we pursued action as aggressively as we should have. I don't know if we've been, I wonder if we gave up hope on this endeavor in a way, thinking that there was any new developments, but there were legislative changes to, depending on when we opted in, a municipality opted in, what kind of net metering we're doing, and our contract stipulations. But there were recent changes in legislation. I also reached out to State Senator Scoos's office about this to see if they could be of any help. But solar is very complex, and it really does depend on our individual contract, which is actually one of the first things that I requested as a board member, and was illegally told to FOIL for it instead of being able to internally request it. Shocker. I was actually told that I wouldn't be trusted with these documents. So it would really behoove us to sit down and actually go through this and decide and discuss as a board if there is a possibility of, changing service providers, changing the middleman. We don't know the details of our contract enough to be able to seek outside help to see if they could open some doors for us. We don't know if it would actually benefit us to maybe convince the Village of Monroe to go through the process of aligning their tax IDs. I feel like these avenues really need to be explored and researched. So the fact that it's budget time and we're discussing things that, I was trying to figure out in January is disheartening.
The Village of Monroe will not change their tax ID numbers. It was discussed in detail over the not last year, early last year, in the fall prior to.
It's just one example.
Excuse me?
It's just one example. As I said, there's other issues that are flexible.
Listen, all I'm going to tell you is that, I should say, I'll finish by saying that the water districts also reap the benefits of the credits from the solar farm, and that's where it comes into play.
but if you get 100, I'm sure a water district resident would say, let me just pay my electric bill, take me out of the solar farm, I'll pay $100. I don't care. I don't care about this.
Mary, I couldn't agree with you as far as the charges being astronomical, okay?
The answer.
But when you look at the solar farm, we've talked about where it was generated from. I won't go there. If you know where I'm talking about, which specific party it came from. So don't put the heat on me. Don't put the heat on us. That was, let's go green, let's do it. And it was done. Ryan was here at the start of it. He knew all the negotiations we went through.
So why didn't you release the documents to us when we asked for them in January, February?
And
March.
these credits can roll over. If the tariff changes with the PSC through legislation or whenever their tariff is due, we have over $200,000 in credits sitting out there.
280,000.
Well,
And
I don't know
yes,
the exact number, but
if we qualify for these new legislative changes, I don't want to overstate because I have not been able to get the contracts and all of the details that I need to take a look and compare and not waste public time on this and do independent research before making motions and bringing this to the board. But if we did qualify, there are some people who originally were not included in a lump sum payout who now are, for example. But it would depend on extremely specific details. So, I think the answer to this question can be discovered in a couple parts. The water districts, are they paying a higher delivery charge Are they paying a total cost for electricity that would be more because of the solar farm costs than they would, purchasing it from any other service provider like
Like if they
O&R?
purchased it from O&R, they would have a fixed cost. They would not be responsible for the Soul River portion.
And those
of
costs
their
can be quantified. We should
Yes.
get those numbers. So let's make a note. I don't have a pen, so I should make a note of this, and it's going to be on the record anyway, that we should quantify those costs and because
Well, you know what? I only did the water districts, and I'm gonna pass this down. You can take a look at
the other-
And I had, and one could go to the town clerk, so if any resident wants to foil it later, they can do so.
the other aspect of what I'm hearing between the two of you is essentially they're paying the service charge twice. They're paying the delivery charges and the maintenance costs and whatever we're paying solar farm twice. Because while they're receiving the electricity for free, they're paying the service charge of the delivery of their services, but then are they paying a redundant cost in the aid fund is the question. And Mary seems to believe yes, and so can that be quantified? I think obviously yes.
I think we can do a little bit more analysis.
Okay, how about you do this? You can do a little more analysis on it, bring it back to the board, call whoever you want to call. I I forget the gentleman's name. I spoke to the senator out on Long Island who was in charge of the public service. Parker, right, Senator Parker. We had a Zoom meeting, I want to say it was back in '22, and nothing got done. So if you can get something done, more power to you.
And the other thing is the tariff does have a provision where you can change the accounts once a year.
Right.
So if the board decides that it wants to change what accounts are included with this Soul River / solar farm, I think that's something we also need to discuss and do before, I believe it's January.
Okay.
How many other service providers for this are in the area?
Excuse me again?
Are there other service providers? I can't remember, the people who deliver that
Orange
charge,
and Rockland.
the middleman. No, Soul River.
We got the lowest rate through M&M Energy, and it was I think it was Constellation.
Right, but that was, back when you,
No, that was just about a month ago.
what are you referring to?
You referring to the rate that we pay? What are you referring to?
For Soul River, we're being charged
The
a
Soul
delivery fee. I'm asking how many similar service providers, like if we could switch providers, how many are there in that same industry? Are there any? Do we even have a choice is what I'm saying. And how do we-
I don't believe you have a choice.
Yeah.
Well, that's another research item.
Yeah, okay, so I think that's good for that topic.
Is where I stand on most of the items on the budget. There were probably a few others. I can send them in an email to the entire board because I'll compare it to the preliminary town budget we received today.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Anyone else?
I had something, but if someone wants to go in front of me. Okay, yes, Mary and I discussed this, so we have a lot of overlapping lists here. Oh, I wanted to flag the part-time elected officials' health insurance benefits, because you can wind up paying actually more in health insurance costs than, what the public is signing up to pay elected officials. It's the health insurance provider lines are like several different lines. I'm not sure where the part-time, I don't think it's popped out as a part-time elected officials, but it would be health insurance benefits, which is A000 9060 8000. It's also B000 9060 8000, DA 00 9060 8000, DB 00 9060 8000. So I'm not sure, I don't think it's a separate line item, but I would like to remove that because the majority of the part-time elected officials are not using it. I think we had discussed, Mary, the town council's cell phones. We wanted to make sure that someone was reviewing our plans with Verizon actively, because Verizon does change and adapt its plans, and as the plan becomes antiquated and they offer different plans, they begin charging more money for the older plans. So you wind up, if you forget and you don't keep an eye on these things and consolidate, then you would, be winding up spending more money than we should be. We took a look at the town council dues, meetings, mileage. I don't believe that we should be budgeting for, what line is that? Do you have that, Mary?
I can find out in a minute.
It seems like we went over it. I remember we went over it, or it was just very high.
Page 1 in the A fund.
I don't think we went over it, but from the year to date, it looks like it's possible that we might for this year. I think we wanted to just create a policy for the Association of Towns that possibly there are no hotel stays within the New York City metro area. Like, you can drive and commute, as most people do in our community, then we should probably set a limit on how many days, depending on the schedule. If it's an early day, we should set a policy that limits that, because it seems like we're encroaching. Let's see. Budget officer salary, that's A000-1340-1010-00, and then the subsequent line. So we have a budgetary officer, which is the supervisor, just being paid, or is it $18, am I correct?
18, yeah.
Just seems particularly high for this area. I did put in a request for comptroller data to compare, especially if it's part of, I believe, the supervisor's innate responsibilities to mind the budget. Every budgetary officer that we've had previously, we've even had a comptroller position, this is many years ago though, they were paid around what the second budgetary officer is paid now. So there's an employee in the finance department being paid, is it around $4,000?
Not true.
Excuse me?
Not true.
That's what I saw from the prior budgets, so if I missed a line.
Not true.
Where are the lines for the prior years then?
Look it up.
Okay.
Peter Martin was paid handily.
And what was the salary?
It was probably 70,000 plus.
He was a comptroller.
Sorry, what?
Peter Martin was a comptroller.
So then was he comptroller and his budget officer position was in addition? So
No.
he was at that.
Budget officer position was created when Peter Martin was not working at the town anymore. So essentially you saved money.
I'm not doing this as a reference to a prior employee. I have a copy of a budget that says the first ever introductory salary for this role was $3,000, and then all of a sudden it jumped up to $18,500.
Not all of a sudden, it was over
Can you
probably
stop
6 years.
commenting while I'm speaking? Thank you. $18,500 is a lot of money for a budget officer salary, especially when that person is the supervisor already. And to have another secondary employee who, I believe, they do a lot of the work, it's very high. So the total cost of the budgetary oversight is $22,000. Again,
Can I just go back
Yes.
and ask for the line item for the supervisor education dues, meetings, and M? It's A000-1220-418900.
can you repeat that? Sorry. A000.
1220
Mhm.
418900.
418. Yes?
Yep.
What about it?
Well, that was, you were asking where the dues and meetings,
Oh, I
I
actually
think that was the one you were referring to.
there's a separate bump out then, because there is actually a budget line for town council
Yes.
for the same thing. So we definitely need to take a look at these education dues, meetings, etc., and just try to create, I believe, like a policy that reins in, hotel stays. Just to make sure, because one of the year-to-dates was just very close, and we're not there yet, so. Okay. No revenue for the theater, that's A000-2080, and the theater costs, that's A000-1622, that is $27,850. Does that include maintenance?
I know it doesn't include the elevator.
Yeah, that's it, we're actually paying
That's
for
separate.
tax, maintenance. We had a buffer, where because it was a municipally owned building sold, we didn't have to pay taxes on that for 2 years. We got an extra year for some reason. But now we have to pay school tax and all of the associated taxes because it's a municipally owned building being used for a commercial use. So people should consider that in their suggestions. For the lease, the line item, Mary, that you mentioned about the lease payments, I have a question if Somni, is that the projected revenue from the lease? Is that where that's listed? Is that where our
I
lease?
think that's what we were questioning. Is it or is it not?
Budgetary officer?
You asking me a question there?
Yeah, the DeAngelis Lake Street building, which is now Somni, are we receiving revenue as a lease from that, and what line would that be?
Yeah, we are, but it's minimal. It's just for the parking spots.
So
Do you have
we are
that?
not leasing the DeAngelis building?
No, we sold the DeAngelis.
Okay. Okay, so the projection for non-property sales tax distribution by county, A000-1120. Could you explain how you came to that number? Is that provided by the county?
A000-1120 wide.
200. In revenue.
Yeah. How I came to that number?
Yes.
So what we did is we loaded a lot of the tax from the B fund into the A fund to help offset the cost of the Rye Hill purchase.
Isn't this a projection of non-property sales tax distribution for the county?
Yes,
It doesn't that depend on like revenue from like shopping?
yes.
So how, I don't understand your answer, how you,
So we get a projected amount. that
from the
can-
county?
From the county that
Okay.
can go into the A, B, DA, DB fund.
Okay, yes, so it came from the county, the number.
No, the projection came from the county.
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
But then not the number that was put in. Clarify yourself, please.
I did several times. I'm asking you, let's get on the same page. I'm asking, how did you come to, let's see, I'm gonna go to the number right now. A000-1120. Where are we?
About 5 lines down on
Page.
page 1.
Okay. So you're projecting $1 million, and in 2024, the number was $265,000.
You're not listening to me. There are 4 different funds the sales tax can be spread throughout.
So you're
We
saying,
front-loaded the money into the A fund to assist the village residents with the payment of the Rye Hill corridor.
so you're saying
Principal
in
and-
2024 that you split up the projected number from the county that you were provided?
We split it up every year.
Okay, but this year you're not, and that is why it's projected to quadruple.
Why are we not? Did you check the other funds?
Could you clarify, because like I'm not.
Not a legal question, it's a financial question.
Where does it's just where does this number come from? $1 million. It comes from
It's
the
a
county.
portion of what the projection of the sales tax from the
Who
county
provides
is.
the projection? The
The
county.
county.
Thank you. So why is it projected to quadruple? Because you're putting it all in one fund. You
Correct.
answered the question about 5 times and pretended I don't understand. Oh, great. $18,500. Quality. All right, so the compost cost trends. The additional $50,000 outside the garbage contract. Didn't they used to take our compost? The garbage, Morangi, did they take all of our compost, or was it minimal?
Rangy doesn't take any of our compost.
No longer, but did they used to take our compost?
Not since I've been here.
Well, I know people used to put it in their garbage and Morangi took it until
That's a different,
Morangi
that's a,
found out and said, no, we're not
this-
doing this anymore.
this
The
is not-
highway department had to form a special area in the back where residents are now bringing the compost. And then highway employees are taking it from the highway garage to the landfill out on Lakes Road.
So yes, I just wanted to clarify that it's not an additional $50,000 outside the garbage contract, because then we would have to consider comparing to other garbage contracts that included such service. The senior center items, I noticed that there's a wood shop tools and supplies line. I don't think that the senior center offers a wood shop class any longer, do they?
what item are you talking about? Give me the page.
I don't have the badge stuff in mind. 800-7620-4303.
What page do you want?
I just said I only have the line.
I have page 7, but I'm looking at the one we had from our prior meeting.
Okay. So there are wood shop tools and supplies, and those tools are used.
Like, there's a class?
They do have, she has had classes in the past, but right now it's being used by the model train club.
So what's the cost of like 500 or what?
For any tools and supplies that may be needed.
I didn't even know we had a model train. So.
Yeah, good, congrats.
No, I remember we talked about it last year.
Yeah.
They had a whole
We
opening.
actually, I think, approved them to go into the senior center down below.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't know they were using the wood shop tools.
Yep.
So you already talked about the art, legal, contractual. This had been brought up at a prior meeting and then dropped. The attorney, the town attorney, has a whole area, it's not even a line, it's an entire area where obviously there's, legal, contractual, prosecutors, all these lines for town attorney. We are budgeting $10,000. Mary Bingham and I had requested that we essentially budget for a minority attorney or a deputy town attorney, I believe is the proper term, and put out a request for proposal for that, and then remove the budgeted amount for the works of 2 council people using the town attorney, because the consultant policy is unlawful, okay? The amount of time, energy wasted on actually just unlawful, unbalanced governance that's been going on. We were being polite publicly, and now we're done being polite. So we would like an RFP for a deputy town attorney. We are entitled to such a thing as a first-class town. We are entitled as board members to have equal access and allocated time, use of consultants. It looks different in every town. Each council member in some towns has actual budgeted monies individually to expend on such things. Sometimes it's just hourly, sometimes it's based on formal legal liaison assignments. It all depends. There's many, many ways, and pretending that he is the counsel only to the Republican board majority and not everyone at each time is tiresome.
Let's stop with that, because that is a rhetoric that is not true, it's
It is.
false, and you
It's in
continue
No, it's in
to
writing.
represent
It's in
that
writing.
on this
It's in
dais.
writing. It's in writing. He claims to me that he is the attorney for the town board majority, which is impossible because each decision that we make can change at any given moment. Each decision.
You want me to clarify that?
Yeah, I would like you to clarify that, counsel.
I am the attorney for the town board.
Yep.
The majority does not always remain the same. You may be politically aligned, but in other words, if 3 board members make a decision and
Yes.
direct town council to do
Exactly.
something, I'm obligated to do that. And yes, if 2 minority members direct me to do something and they don't have a third person, I would not do that.
We're not directing you, we're asking you for legal resources to make an informed
And
decision.
so part of the question is the policy which is made by the town board. And that's not always the same majority. There have been votes here where it's 5-0, that's the town board
I just
majority.
said that.
There have been votes that have been 4-1,
And we
that's the
spent
town
many
board.
hours arguing this over email when you said, I represent the town board
But in
majority, and I
fairness,
said,
you
no,
also
fair.
said if we hired another attorney and you didn't agree with their opinion, you
No,
could
I
have on
didn't.
another attorney.
And
Yes, you did.
Absolutely
No, I
said
did
that.
not. I
You
said,
absolutely
no
said
such
that.
thing.
And the board was present when you said it.
Wow, you mean the board majority that's passed several and
No, actually, Ms. Bingham was there too. You
Yeah,
saw it.
Ms. Bingham, did I say that? Why
You
don't you
did say
weigh in?
that.
Why
Well,
don't you weigh in on what actually happened there?
He did not say that she would get another attorney.
another opinion, whatever the phrase was, it was not that you could accept that attorney.
That's not what I said. You always
Stand up
my
once,
Like I said, it would just go on and on.
Let the truth be told, Mary, not some
And it erupted
thing
into this
that's in your head that you
discussion
can't
that's going on
say.
right now. It erupted into this disgusting discussion what's going on right now, where the town attorney baits, gaslights, or uses spends limited resources, and then pretends that we're
You
wasting.
deny something that you said.
No,
That's
I
what I'm talking
didn't.
about. The board
And we
was there,
have-
they heard it, and you're gonna sit there and say you
And
never
she
said
just
that.
said that it didn't happen. And you
Well,
see
what,
how
what did she say then? You said, well, she didn't use those words. Did she not say something to that effect?
No, she said basically that the opinion that she had, she valued more than the opinion.
And I said, does that mean if the attorney you hired, you didn't agree, would you then want another opinion? And the answer was yes.
No,
So she
it
said,
wasn't.
where
I said
does it
I'm
end?
entitled to do research. I haven't said
But
I
then
am
you'd be hiring
entitled to do
attorney
research.
after attorney.
No,
so that
you
got
are
the
putting
opinion
words in my
that
mouth, just as you
want
have
it.
done in
I'm sorry.
hundreds of
You can't talk over.
Listen,
Point of order, please.
hold on. Let's get back to the budget, please. Any other questions on the budget?
The composting fee, we did that. Checkerboard inlet, we need money to either remediate the structure or repair it. We've consulted many, it seems beyond repair unless we were to be imbued with millions. It's very unfortunate because people love this place and wanted to see it restored, however, it doesn't seem possible. So we need, I think, to budget more in that line to remediate it, or there's going to be an incident which costs us much more. The roof is falling down, if someone goes in there, trespasses, we're liable for that. And yep, so the fund balance change for 2025 was minus $990,000, and the fund balance change in 2024 was minus $996,000. That was just a follow-up to last time where you complained that it was nowhere close to $1 million. Yes, it is. In 2024, we had $900,000 worth of ARPA funds that were expended to cover the hole in the operating budget. This year we do not, so we are looking at that hole again.
Just as a point of clarity, my objection to that was that it was for several years.
Excuse me?
My objection to your statement at the last meeting was that we used the term several years.
No, you said that it was nowhere near $1 million, and you can go back and review the record.
For
Because I said for 2 years, the prior year, you can go back and see
Okay,
this.
so let me ask you a question. Would you like me to reduce that amount to 500,000?
I'm saying you.
I'm
done
asking
your
you a
job,
question.
And that you are covering holes in the operating costs.
Okay, so you're questioning it, so
I
I'm
am
asking.
questioning.
You're asking.
I'm putting it on the record for my constituents.
Yeah,
You
no,
don't seem to
I know,
understand.
You're
You
just
don't
worried
seem to
about your vote.
understand.
So
my
so
voters.
let me ask you,
Or
would you
my
like me to
taxpayers.
reduce it and
No,
tell me how
I'm
much?
saying you're covering, yeah, I want you to reduce the over operating, I want you to reduce operating costs, not charge taxpayers more.
Not take money from the fund balance,
Yeah.
is what she said.
Okay, so tell me how much you would like me to reduce that amount.
No, we're
I
saying.
want you to reduce the operating costs.
Reduce the operating cost?
Right.
Look at how much most of those departments have increased their budgets. Some have decreased, some have increased minimally. So what more would you like me to cut?
Well, as I
The
said,
problem,
they-
here's the problem, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. The problem is a house that's assessed at $75,000 back in 2018. This year, in the village, I believe is only paying $68 more than it did in 2018. So you have approximately, let's say, a 6 or 7% increase over the years I'm sorry, you don't have a 6%, you had a 4% increase, I think it was, and I'll have those numbers for the next meeting. So $68 over, 6 years, right? And that's not the number, because the number is considerably lower than that. But what I'm gonna tell you is, that discretionary spending has been shrinking because we have been keeping within the cap, and everything else has been above the cap. So all the constant increases in expenses have been 5, 10, 14% when you're talking about benefits and pensions. And you expect us to provide the same services within that discretionary spending, and we can't. I'm going to tell you right now, I've spoken to 7 supervisors. I spoke to one today. They're all looking at an adjustment here. And it's got to happen.
Are they looking at $20 million?
Excuse me?
Are they looking at down the barrel of $20 million?
What?
Are they looking down the barrel of $20 million?
You mean the bridal?
Yep.
Listen, with the exception of Councilwoman Richardson, everyone on this board voted for it, and
I wasn't
Councilwoman,
on the board.
I said with the exception of
Yes,
you.
and I'm clarifying that it's not that I opposed the
Okay,
charge.
and you didn't oppose it, you even took credit for it on your website.
No, I definitely did not take credit for just buying $20 million worth of land.
Okay,
Because I ran out of time on
let's
your
move
lawsuit.
on. Okay. Can I get a motion to keep open a public hearing for the 2025 town budget and benefit assessment rolls to November 7th, 2024 at 7 p.m. or immediately thereafter?
We'll make that motion.
You second it, Sal? Call the question.
Scangarello, aye.
Cordona, aye.
Cool, aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay. Item 5.1 is the acceptance of the October 7th, 2024 minutes. I'll make a motion to accept those.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardona, aye.
Cool, aye.
Richardson, aye.
Item 6.1, general fund abstract. Sorry. General fund. Give me a second. General fund abstract. I'll make a motion, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Monroe requests approval of abstract 24-14 general fund containing checks 35839 through 35909, totaling $276,181.27. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
Go ahead.
There's a voucher, I did not see, I have not gone into signed vouchers, but there's a voucher there for a pressure tank replacement for $4,000. I did reach out to Monroe House Edsel, I did not receive an answer. I would like to look at that voucher before we vote on this.
Okay, so what we will do is we will remove that voucher. Do you know which number it is?
No, I did not write down the voucher number.
Pressure tank.
Could you scroll down to where it says NHT?
I see it. It is voucher number 24-02191. That's Water District number 1 pressure tank replacement for $4,000.
So if we change the dollar amount, the total dollar amount,
That would be down to $272,181.27.
okay. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Okay, you want to make that motion, Dory?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we approve the general fund abstract, abstract number 24-14, check numbers 35839 through 35909 for the amount of $272,181.27.
Which check number are we excluding?
I have to.
Oh, we are excluding check. So now, the check number that we're excluding has other items in it.
What do you mean by that?
So check number 35869 is also paying for the MS4 annual permit through the highway garage.
So I can just put in the motion that we're removing the $4,000, which is included in that check number 35869.
Yeah, but we can't because then we have to cut another check. So,
So
Mary,
I would
do you
like
want to
to
go
just
go look at those vouchers?
Yeah,
All right, motion for a 5-minute recess?
thank you, Sal. Sal's gonna, Councilman Sal Scangarello is gonna bring you the voucher just so I can look at it. Because as I said, there's not enough information just from the abstract to see what that's for.
Is anyone going to second my motion or is it dying?
Well, we're gonna just
Just
fund
1
it.
minute, I think we
No, we're not recessing, we're not recessing.
Mary, give me your key.
Oh, here, Sal. No, I said, how is AI going to do about the silence? All right, so while she's looking for that, I'm gonna, did you take cash? You took it. I'm gonna go on to the 6.2 escrow funder abstract. I'll make a motion, be it resolved that the town board of Town of Monroe requests approval of abstract 24-07 escrow fund containing check 2168, 2169, 2171, 2173, 2174, and 2175, totaling $36,638.42. Can I have a second?
Second.
Call a question?
Illinois.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay, so moved. Item 7.1 is a budget transfer abstract. Be resolved that the town board of Town of Monroe approves budget transfer abstract 2024-18 in the amount of $20,501.02 for the 2024 expenditure adjustment.
Second for discussion.
Go ahead.
I think there's an accounting line item number error. The second item is park and cemetery repair and maintenance, and it's to be offset with the Monroe Park Engineering. The account number is the same in both.
Yep.
Yeah, see, it's 80007110430 in both. That, I don't think can be Monroe Park. It should have a different number than the park and cemetery repair.
Well,
Should we just
I think that's the,
motion it for acceptance under, on this issue with the legal counsel, we say for attorney approval, can we do a motion for acceptance under revision for the correct account by the supervisor approval?
Hold on. Monroe Park Engineering is A 0007121 -4020-00.
Okay, so with that adjustment, it would be so we're gonna change it. The second line on Beach Park Engineering is A0007121-4020-00. Okay,
Thank you for that correction.
Joe, thank you. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Full aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay, I have the voucher, pressure tank replacement and various PS modifications. So it's actually for a design process and a building insulation and finishes. It's the building that will house the pressure tank. So based on that information, now I'd be willing to accept the voucher as is, and the total does not have to be changed.
Okay, so wait, I'm gonna remake that motion that we approve general fund abstract 24-14 containing checks 35839 through 35909, totaling $276,181.27.
Full second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Full aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay, so moved. Item 8.1 is Catherine O'Boyle moving from a part-time laborer to a full-time laborer. I'll make a resolution approving Catherine O'Boyle for the position of full-time laborer, maintenance department, at an hourly rate of $22 effective October 22-2024. Catherine is currently seasonal labor with the town and had been pre-approved by this position for the position change by the Orange County Department of Human Resources. Do I have a second?
Bingham will second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Full aye.
Richardson, aye.
Item 8.2, I'll make a motion to accept the retirement of Ed Kozlowski, laborer, Smith Clove Park, effective October 28, 2024.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Full aye.
Richardson, aye.
Ed's been a great employee at the town. Wish him well in his retirement. Item 8.3, I'll make a motion approving Sean Allen for the position of the full-time laborer, Smith Clove Park, at an hourly rate of $20 effective October 28, 2024. Sean is currently a seasonal laborer at Smith Clove Park and has been pre-approved for this position change by Orange County Department of Human Resources.
Full second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Full aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay, so moved. Hey, let me backtrack a little. So we just have to approve the budget you have and as the preliminary budget. We never did that.
For the one dated, today's date, October 21?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the preliminary town budget as received today, October 21, 2024.
Okay, call the question.
Full second.
No,
Oh,
sorry,
yes.
seconded.
Yeah.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Full aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay. All right, item 8.4 is resignation of Mary Elizabeth Burton, Monroe Joint Parks and Recreation Commission. I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Mary Elizabeth Burton from the MJPRC Commission, effective October 9th, 2024.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Full aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay. Next up, to fill that slot, I'll make a motion to appoint Charles Summerlad to the Monroe Park Recreation Commission, slot number 4, with a term expiration of 2026. Second? The reason that term is so short is because he's filling the purpose. Chuck, I know you're here. Did you want to speak?
No.
Okay. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Full aye.
Richardson, aye.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard, Chuck.
Welcome aboard, Chuck. Thanks for stepping up. I appreciate it.
Chuck, I'll just need for you to come to my office if you can, either after the meeting, if you're staying till the end, or within the next 15 days, just to take your oath of office.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. For those of you that don't know Chuck, he's been extremely beneficial to the youth of this community. He's coached in various sports. He's coached at the high school level. He has, he's been the keeper of the pickleball courts since they opened up. So thank you, it's very much appreciated, Chuck.
You're welcome.
Okay. Item 8.6 is a resolution for the new mandates of FOIL requests for disciplinary records, and that's pursuant to New York State Public Officers Law. Anybody have a chance to read it?
Yeah, I think we should take a little more time to read it because it does deal with human resources.
Okay. All
So
right, so
till
I'll
the
make
next meeting,
I'll make a motion to table it to next meeting.
Bingham will second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Well,
Richardson, aye.
Okay. Next up is discussion regarding maintenance agreement provided by Orange County Elevator for maintenance service for one elevator located at 1465 Orange Turnpike. For the elevator located at 34 Mill Pond Parkway. But the agreement is with us here. So it's basically $250 per month per elevator. And then there's additional charges at a reduced rate of $550 per hour for regular hours, 8 to 4 Monday through Friday, and $925 per hour for any of the other hours outside of that 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. range.
we need to authorize you to sign this contract.
Yes.
Okay. So I make a motion that we authorize the supervisor to sign the contract with Orange County Elevator LLC, maintenance contract number 703, at a cost of $250 a month, plus maintenance fees associated with any issues that arise at the amounts of $550 during regular business hours and $925 during off-business hours.
Bingham will second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Well, aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay. Item 8.8 is the acceptance of the dial-a-ride buses that are currently on order and being finalized by the manufacturer and authorizing the supervisor to sign the voucher for the 10% of the local share. Do that, Tori.
Yes, so I will make a motion that we accept the additional dial-a-ride buses that are currently on order and authorize the supervisor to sign the voucher for the 10% of the local share.
Bingham will second for discussion. Do we know what the exact dollar amount that will turn into, that 10%?
It's going to be about $7,400.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And do we know how many?
7.
Okay. Call the question?
Councilwoman Biggins, second.
For discussion? Yeah.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Oh, aye. Richardson.
Item 9.1 is the Village of Monroe tax exemption request, items 3 and 4 on the town highway budget. So I have a resolution here for a partial exemption from the items of highway law, section 141, 4, from the levy and collection of taxes in the Village of Monroe. I'll read now therefore be it resolved that the above whereas clauses are incorporated herein as if set forth in full. Section 2, without regard to the various inaccurate factual assertions in the village's petition, which are not concurred with by the town board hereby approves an exemption from the levy and collection of taxes in the village limited to the brush cutting services that's currently provided by the town, with the understanding that the village will be responsible for all brush cutting related services in the village upon the cessation of the levy and collection of the taxes by the town for such purposes. Upon that cessation of the levy and collection of taxes from the village, residents. For such purposes, the town will cease providing any such brush cutting services to the village and/or its residents, except upon payment for such services as town shall be agreed upon by the town or village. Section 4, to the extent that any court of law should determine that the town is not authorized to grant a partial exemption under highway law section 277 and 141-4, as set forth herein, the town expenses that it would deny the village petition, the town expresses that it would deny the village petition entirely and withdraw the partial exemption granted herein. Section 5, the town supervisor or his designee is authorized to take any and all actions necessary to carry out the provision of this resolution. Section 6, the resolution shall be effective immediately.
Second for discussion.
Yep.
Well, first of all, the whereas clause does not reference that the village made any errors, and I'm uncomfortable that you included that because it's not accurate. And second,
I'm sorry, say that again?
you said that despite many factual errors made on behalf of the village, it's not in the whereas clause because it's not written down, and I dispute that. So second, do you have a total amount?
Yeah, it's 304, I think.
It's the brush and weeds.
It's highlighted in yellow on mine. Okay, it's $306,440.
I'm sorry, there were two people speaking at once. Could you repeat that?
$306,440.
Okay.
Call the question?
Bingham, aye.
Stancarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay, so moved. Item 10.1, public comment.
No public comment.
No public comment?
For executive session?
Oh, I'm sorry. Litigation?
Yeah, and there'll be attorney-client advice as well.
Yeah, okay.
Can I also add personnel to that?
Yeah, sure. Call the question?
Bingham, aye.
Stancarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Richardson, aye.
So moved. Thank you. I'd make motion to return to a regular meeting from executive session.
All second.
Call the question?
Bingham, aye.
Stancarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay. So I would like council to, I'll make a motion, but the letter that was read prior to going into executive session, I feel that it is it's defamatory towards the town and could put us in a legal situation, and I would like it redacted from the record, both video and minutes.
Well, that is the motion, but
Okay,
I mean, we've got it covered there.
all right,
Motion.
yeah.
I'll second.
Discussion. I would rather make the motion that this is alleged and that it was sent again and is still being sent by over 30 people to my inbox. And that.
Mine as well.
Yeah, and so I don't think that it's fair to silence the public on this. I feel that, being requested to read this by over 30 individuals into the record for public comment, the fact that they were not able to come, I feel that it's my right as a council person to represent my constituency. I did what I could to disclaim that this was read in its entirety, who it was written by. I'd rather make a motion that this is not the opinion or stance of the town of Monroe, but the stance of citizens writing in, and I feel that it would be a dishonor to freedom of speech to redact this because of the amount of people who wanted this read. And the way that I'm reading this, it's not defamatory to the town. That's incorrect. There are concerns that essentially there are accusations made against parties.
I think before you continue, you should not say another word, because because I think you're gonna place us in harm's way more.
No.
Just procedurally, we have a motion pending, so we
Yeah, and
got.
I said discussion, and I
Yeah,
was.
but then you asked to make another motion, so I'm just clarifying.
No,
We have-
I didn't. I said I would prefer.
Can we call a question?
No, because I'm still speaking and I'm entitled to the time.
Mary, can we call a question? please?
No, because I am still speaking and I am entitled to the time.
I'm gonna give you one more opportunity, Mary, then I'm gonna call the question.
For your resolution, aye.
Whose resolution?
Tommy's.
To redact
Redact
that from the video
Aye.
minutes.
Oh, aye.
Richardson, nay.
Okay. I have a resolution here authorizing town special counsel and planning board counsel to represent the town in an Article 78 proceeding. Now therefore it is resolved as follows, all whereas paragraphs are incorporated herein by reference as those set forth in full herein. Special counsel Ferrick Nugent McCartney, PLLC, is hereby authorized to appear on behalf of the town of Monroe and town of Monroe Zoning Board of Appeals and shall be compensated for services performed in this action with regard to the aforesaid proceeding entitled Summercrest LLC versus Town of Monroe et al. Under index number EF0087994-2024, including any appeals if necessary, as set forth in the town board resolution and agreement appointing special counsel. Planning Board Counsel Norton and Torrey LLP is hereby authorized to appear on behalf of the Town of Monroe Planning Board and be compensated for all services performed in this action with regard to the aforesaid proceeding entitled Summercrest LLC versus Town of Monroe et al. Under index number EF008794-2024, including all appeals, if necessary, as set forth in the town board resolution and agreement appointing planning board counsel. This resolution shall be effective immediately. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Oh, aye.
Richardson, aye.
Okay, make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Scangarello, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Oh, aye.
Richardson, aye.
All right, thank you everyone for being here tonight.